Hello, everybody, all my gorgeous souls. I'm so happy to have you here with me once again. Welcome to my channel, especially if you're brand new. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what your person of interest that you're connected to would like to say to you that they're not telling you in the 3D. So if all blockages, barriers, and obstacles to communication were removed, whether that be physical, like a no contact or separation energy, or just, again, emotional or mental, if somebody just has some type of inability to express themselves clearly, we're going to take a look at what they would choose to say to you, what they want you to know most from their heart about, you, the connection, and whatever they'd like to share, again, that they're not saying to you in the 3D. So we have 3 piles for you as always. Before we get started, I of course just want to express appreciation for everybody who is here choosing to connect and share space today. And I ask only one request. If you do end up enjoying the reading, one moment of your time to engage with the content helps a great deal in the ability for my channel to grow. So if you could, and if you feel called to, like the video, share it, subscribe, click the notification bell. I would be most appreciative. So we have 3 piles, as I said. Pile 1 is going to be the Tarot of Unknown Shadows. I believe that's what it's called. I haven't used it in a while. And that's going to be with the Amazonite. Pile 2 is the Wandering Star Tarot. This is what I call my caramel crystal. I have no idea what this actually is. I have yet been unable to identify it, so I will figure that out someday. At this point, it's been very aptly and affectionately named the caramel crystal. And then pile 3 is going to be the Lucine Tarot. This is the Midnight Edition, so the darker version of the two. I used the Twilight version in a reading yesterday. And that's going to be with this beautiful big piece of Aeipathy, one of my favorites. Go ahead, reflect over whichever pile is drawing you in most, whatever energy is invoking from it for you and kind of calling you in. You can also check the timestamps. Those are always listed for you below. And I will meet you over at your pile in just a moment for your reading. Hey, pile 1, welcome to your reading. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. You were drawn to this piece of Amazonite as well as the Tarot of Unknown Shadows. I just want to turn on a light quick. I have no idea why it's so dark in here, but hopefully that helps slightly. We're going to be taking a look today at your person's energy of what they would choose to say to you that they're not telling you in the 3D. So this is going to be about anything to do with you, the connection, whatever else needs to come through from your person. We're going to start, of course, with tarot, work our way through some oracle, and just get whatever we need to have come out. This is going to be a bit of a shorter reading today. It is a Friday when I'm recording this, and I just have goings on. So we're going to make this a little bit, about half the length of what I usually do, but hopefully still a very good, thorough reading for you on your person of interest. While I am shuffling, just briefly, pile 1, please go ahead, set your intention. You're ready for this reading to be open and receptive to whatever insights are going to present, and select a sign as well. I don't need to go through the whole sort of process for that. I think you're well aware and have heard that from multiple readers, so I will spare you the sign speech, but go ahead and select a sign, set your intentions, ready yourself for this reading, and let's get started. Pile 1, what would their person choose to say to them? What does their person want to say that they're not saying and telling them in the 3D? So we have the Knight of Swords first out. I'm going to have to adjust these, of course, as I go a little bit. We have the 3 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the High Priestess energy coming out. Are those straight? Those look pretty good. Okay, and let's clarify these energies as well. For the Knight of Swords, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. There's a message already coming through regarding your person concerning poor judgment coming out for the 3 of Swords, and like a hastiness and impulsivity to their energy, kind of very chaotic. Knight of Swords energy is always going to be very fast-paced, fast-moving, and not finessed. So like cutthroat, get in, get out, With it being clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, this is a reference for me to timing or the way something was done, like the approach, where we have kind of the fastest energy with the Knight of Swords, and then the slowest and most methodical and practical and grounded with the Knight of Pentacles. We have Temperance for the Ace of Cups, so more majors coming out for you. So far we have 3. And the Ace of Pentacles for the High Priestess. The bottom of the deck energy, kind of the underlier of this reading, is the Chariot. Let's get some Oracle out as well. I think we have a little bit of room. Yeah. We'll start with the Romance Angels Oracle deck. I love this. This is an OG. This deck has been out for so long, years and years. I think 2007 it was created, well before I was ever into tarot, and I waited years to be able to get a sealed original copy. There's a lot of counterfeits of this deck out there ever since it went out of print, and I was able to secure a really beautiful original copy, and I've just treasured them ever since. And they're so telling. They're so helpful with these kinds of readings. So we have children. Your love life is being affected by children. Okay. And we'll get one more from this deck. What would they say? So unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Don't be concerned about that. That card isn't exactly how it appears most of the time. I read it slightly differently. Do we have like any more room? I'm not sure. I'm going to try to squeeze in a few at the very bottom. We'll see what happens. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. What would pile 1's person choose to say to them? Rock Bottom, which is card 10. And you can't fully see that, but that's what we've got going on just out of view. And Talisman, number 49. So again, pile 1, there's a lot of reference here to how somebody has approached this connection, and what they'd like to say to you concerns a lot of, I guess, pain and sadness that they've caused. This 3 of Swords energy is the, emotion of heartbreak that's invoked in that card. Those are very painful swords for that particular card in the deck. Other swords cards aren't as painful. This one in particular, along with the 10 of Swords, are both very incredibly heavy energies. The 3 of Swords being a card of, again, heartbreak, loss, pain, separation. I definitely do think this is a separation pile. Your person has come into some sort of awakening and I guess clarity about the connection in this absence or separation that they've had from you, but they also realize just how much their actions previously have been hurtful. Again, there's reference to like dipping in and out, sometimes showing up very like dedicated, and again, there's no finessing to this Knight of Swords, but it's a very direct energy. It's always, you're going to know exactly what this person is thinking and what their intent is, because they don't even think about it, they just go for it. Whereas at other times with this Knight of Pentacles energy, I can see that your person moves incredibly slowly. So I would read this in the 3D as being like a hot and cold like energy. And with unrequited love, which, as I said, I don't read like how other people may see this card or how it appears with this, little kind of like synopsis at the bottom. I read that to be that this person is acknowledging that there hasn't been an equal energetic exchange of loving energy between you, or that there hasn't been equal weight put into this connection. Now, the reason why could be related to children. They could be a parent. They could have responsibilities as a child, maybe with an aging parent. That just represents some obstacle or element of the connection being impacted by a third-party energy. And that doesn't have to be a person. So it doesn't have to be actual children if that doesn't apply. But for some of you, it will. It otherwise is just, again, a situation or a circumstance outside of the two of you that's making it where they can't show up equally. And then when they do show up, it's very chaotic. It's very in and out. It's not ever stable and grounded. And they're realizing how hurtful that's been. And they want to tell you, they want you to know that they have a desire and they are strongly working towards figuring out, from an energetic perspective, how they can offer this new beginning. We have 2 aces here, so they definitely have no desire to end things. In fact, with the Chariot here, the Chariot is often an energy of either, it's momentum, of course, and movement forward, but it's either moving towards something or away from something. And in this case, I don't think they want to move away from you because we have all of these new energies coming out. The Ace of Cups also specifically relates to a new concept of a new cycle in love. With Temperance, they're wanting to, again, create balance and restore, a sense of equilibrium here. Alchemy, and also have just feels like reunion energy, a peacefulness, a healing. And with this High Priestess, again, with Judgment and the High Priestess coming out here, 2 huge majors about spiritual kind of evolution. This person is focused on, again, energetically, what they can do to kind of change it up, or they're having expansive sort of shifts occurring at an energetic level or at a spiritual level that are going to impact and create the ability for you to have this new beginning with them. That's what I'm getting. I'm also seeing that with this Talisman card. And in fact, I'm going to see what this says in the book, but I'm pretty sure this relates sort of to like a spiritual element also. But your person is definitely waking up to something, pile 1, and I don't even know if they would know how to articulate this in the 3D. So perhaps that's why they haven't shared it with you, or maybe it's freaking them out. You never know. But the Talisman specifically says, wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It also enables you to quickly gather information about where you are on your journey. And again, we have indications of a journey with the Chariot energy here. It helps you recognize your allies and know how to find the best routes along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you, for you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. You've learned your lessons and earned the right to your success. So I think this person at a very rudimentary level has realized that how they've shown up previously, or how they've treated this connection in most recent time, despite, again, them being other factors at work here, and not just like their flakiness that's impacted things. They still, regardless, feel very bereft about this. It's definitely causing them a lot of heaviness. Again, with that 3 of Swords coming out. And we even have rock bottom here. I think they're in a very low place. Again, could be related to this other situation, but also I think just where things are between you. And yet your person is coming into, again, a greater state of awareness of recognizing, it says, the lessons learned, the mistakes that were made previously, and how you won't make those same mistakes moving forward because you have recognized the patterns of behavior that you wish to avoid. This person is noticing how they've shown up, how they've treated you. They want you to understand that things are going to be different moving forward, especially if they can't communicate this or show you this concretely in the 3D at this very given moment. So let's get some more information. What else does pile 1's person want them to know? What are they not telling them about how they feel about pile 1 or the connection with pile 1? Okay, we have a jumper. We have the Knight of Cups, and I'm not honestly sure if this was meant to come out reversed or upright, because it did come out reversed, and I don't normally take reversal. So let's clarify what was meant here. So it's meant to be upright because the clarifier is actually the Page of Pentacles. And so again, this is somebody who wants to show up and wants to extend that offer of love. They're trying to find a way or figure out how that needs to look in the 3D. With that being Pentacles energy, they want to figure out how that needs to, I guess, be demonstrated to show up for you in this connection. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the 4 of Wands. And we have the Devil. Very interesting Devil. Clarifying the Ace of Swords, that's more truth and awareness coming up right over Judgment there. We have the Page of Cups. So they're coming into clarity about their feelings. They're recognizing how deep they run. I think also in your absence this time, for some reason, it just feels a little different than it ever has before. I don't think this is the first time there's been a separation. Again, given the very polar opposing energies of those 2 different cards with the Knights of Swords and Pentacles, and now we have the Knight of Cups over that as well. So 3 out of the 4 Knights have come out, indicating there's been a lot of up and down with this energy. I think a lot of cycling as well. But this person is recognizing how they've shown up in the past, and so again, they have come to a conclusion about you know, throughout this time period, and there's been separations before, this time's just a little bit different, and their feelings are a little deeper and a little different. We're going to get more information on that too. I'm not going to delve too deeply into their feelings, but we'll get a little bit more information there. With the Four of Wands and Death, they want a relationship. They want union with you. You can consider this Four of Wands also as like the 1111 card with twin flame energy. I just refer to them as soulful connections. Death is indicating a huge transformation that would be necessary, that they recognize, but they're kind of getting ready for it, because I'm seeing that this person holding up this mirror and the reflection coming back is an indication that they're kind of facing this with a bit of directness now, finally. The Devil energy with the Four of Swords, you know, says that they're aware. They're at least aware and coming into, again, this knowledge of what needs to be changed. This Four of Swords tells me they're not exactly taking action towards it yet, but they recognize where the downfall has been and where things kind of haven't been fair. And also, I'm getting a secondary message that they're very, very attached to this connection and they cannot let it go. And so it's almost like, yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles as a clarifier. They're not taking action yet, but this is a double meaning in the sense that the Four of Swords to me is of rest and kind of, you know, just, I'm not leaving, I'm not coming forward, but I'm not going anywhere either. And with this Eight of Pentacles, that could consider to be, you know, someone putting focus and continuing to stay connected and stay invested in a particular, you know, circumstance or energy. And in this case, that's your connection. How does this person feel? How does Pile 1's person feel about them? Give me more about this Page of Cups coming up over Judgment. What are they coming into clarity about and understanding? What are they feeling for Pile 1? The Three of Wands, so they see you in their future. They definitely feel like this is an energy between you that, even though right now, Nine of Wands, they can't take action, they are not letting this go. There's so many indications that they're going to continue to kind of hold this connection near and dear to their heart, and that they are hoping that there will be some opportunity for more forward momentum in the future. As I say that, we have the Eight of Wands, and again, the Chariot was kind of the underlier for this entire reading, which is the energy of momentum and progress. And we have another three, which is the Three of Pentacles. So ultimately, I think these are wonderful energies. They're not cups-like, but they're great energies for feelings, because what it says is there's intent here, there's passion, there's all wands and then pentacles. And I love that all of that fiery, passionate, driven, and motivated energy is then grounded with this Three of Pentacles, which is about a collaborative kind of effort and coming together. Let's see what else. How is Pile 1's person feeling? Keep an open mind. So again, there's just indications here about a perspective shift, about them coming into a greater confidence, also about decision making, some kind of a decision that needs to be made. Finances and career. So again, this is a little bit of a nod to some sort of a 3D circumstance that's affecting things. As feelings, this tells me that they're just feeling a little bit insecure and distracted because there's something else going on in the 3D. So I want to pull a couple of these. These are the AlcheMystical Tarot, but they have keywords, so they're like an oracle deck. I want to get some more information. For Pile 1's person, please, what would they choose to say to Pile 1? Those watching Pile 1, what would they share that they're not saying in the 3D? Bear with me, these are extremely difficult to get together here. So we have the Nine of Spirit, and Spirit is a 5th suit, I believe, in this deck. Translation. For me, that's just understanding now from a higher perspective, a higher vantage point, Spirit. You know what? These all came out, and they seem relevant. I'm going to take them. So we have the 10 of Spirit, which is crystallization. I feel like that's manifestation. It's something coming into form in the 3D. We have the 7 of Cups. This is, again, envisioning and daydreaming and kind of similar to that 3 of Wands energy, but even a little bit more emotional, obviously being water. But about somebody like developing this idea, this vibrational sort of escrow or reality of what can happen and occur between you before it actually happens. We have the Alchemist of Water embodiment, which I believe is the Queen of Cups, and the 8 of Air, which is the 8 of Wands repetition. So this person wants you to know they're coming back. This is the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Swords, excuse me. But repetition to me is about saying that there is going to be, again, another cycle. And I do think this person just right now can't exactly take action, but look at how these hands are reaching up. Even though this person is kind of, you know, sat there and sitting stuck, not taking action, not moving forward, not really doing much of anything. We have this eye at the top in the sky, and we have all of these hands that are reaching up for that. So it's, again, almost like representative of this energetic sort of awakening that they're having, even though there's nothing going on in the 3D. They are incredibly drawn into you. And Queen of Water, Queen of Cups, is a very intuitive energy. We already had the High Priestess come out. There's so much energy here of understanding and embracing the more spiritual nature of this connection. So I definitely think that this is something your person is focused on right now. I don't think they feel comfortable necessarily to share that. And again, in some cases, I also don't know if they necessarily have a way to articulate all of this for you. So this could be why they're not sharing what's going on and kind of what's taking place with them. But let's go ahead and just get some closing cards here on the energy of what you can expect in the near future from your person, if anything. You know, what do they want to say about their next actions and intentions, and what you might be able to expect from them? We're using the Moonology Manifestation deck. Very apt for this question. So first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings, more water energy coming out. You could definitely be dealing with a water sign, if not a Pisces. We have think it through, new moon in Gemini. They're definitely doing a lot of thinking. There's a lot of activity going on in the mental body right now. And then full moon in Aquarius, which is Be Real. And I'm going to clarify that as to what that represents in the 3D, if anything. What is this Be Real card as to what their person wants them to know, to expect from them in the near future? So the 10 of Swords, putting an end to a tough cycle, a painful cycle. The 5 of Wands, yeah, all the struggle that they're having. And then what are they going to do? Queen of Swords. There could be some communication coming for some of you. For others, just again, just represents them getting very, very clear on what they want going forward. We have the 4 of Pentacles. There could be, again, a wait before there is a lot of movement forward. What else can they expect? We again have the Queen of Cups coming out. So I'm going to look at both of these queens as communication at bare minimum, because we have the queen that is of communication with Swords energy, but we also have the Queen of Cups, which is, you know, in contrast to the King of Cups, a very emotive person, very open and giving and caring. And so I do think this person is going to be showing up in that energy. And as I say that, the King of Pentacles, so very grounded and solid, good intention, and the 10 of Cups. So we go from the 10 of Swords that was beneath here, getting real and clear about everything they're struggling with and how to get unstuck, how to overcome it, even though they're not taking action right now, and it may be a bit, how they can overcome that, kind of come forward with some communication, show up for you in a more stable and balanced way, and ultimately give you, or start to work towards giving you, this abundant, beautiful energy in the 10 of Cups. So pile 1, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please take just a moment to engage again with the video. Go ahead and like it or comment if you feel called to, as well as subscribe so that you can visit here again. We can be friends, and you can catch me for another reading, either, you know, future or past, if you want to check through my available playlists and peruse all of the other content I have created previously. I'd be so honored. But either way, it's been a joy having you here with me today, sharing this space over this reading. I hope to see you again. And until next time, pile 1, take great care. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 2, welcome to your reading. You chose my caramel crystal, as well as the Wandering Star Tarot. This is the indie version. I own both, but this one is just absolutely stunning. And we're taking a look today at what your person would like to say to you that they're not telling you in the 3D. So This can be anything. We're keeping it pretty open forum in the sense that whatever your person wants to communicate and come through with in terms of messages today about you, their feelings for you, the connection itself, anything that they feel that you need to know that they're not sharing, if all blockages, barriers, obstacles, and challenges were removed, this is what they would choose to tell you. So if there's a separation in place and no contact, if you guys have each other blocked, or if there's a third party in the way, maybe your person's just, you know, tongue-tied, they can't speak up. Whatever the case may be, we're going to find out today what it is that they want to say. So we're going to start with the tarot. Of course, get lots of oracle out as well. And we're going to keep this a little bit shorter, about half the length of what I usually do, but still get a pretty good reading for you. And while I shuffle just briefly before I get started, go ahead and set your intention, please, as always, that you are ready and receptive to the energies that are going to come forward, to the messages and insights that are going to be relayed. Select a sign if you feel called to do so as well. And let's take a look at what is going on with your person, pile 2, what they want to say to you. Okay. So we have the 7 of Cups first out. We have Judgment. This also came out for pile 1. Prominent energy today. We have the 7 of Wands. And this is going to just have to get moved a little bit. And we have the Devil also came out for pile 1. Those look pretty good. Okay, let's clarify everything. For the 7 of Cups, we have the Page of Wands. Judgment is the Hierophant. Wow. Lots of deeply spiritual energy coming through for you guys. But your person's struggling with that. In this case, I don't think your person, unlike pile 1, that person was really coming into clarity and also acceptance about the spiritual nature of things. I don't know if that's the case so much with your person. I think they're definitely feeling held back, restricted by some personal challenges, you know, some inner demons even perhaps. A lot of just rooted in the 3D. And as I say that too, we have the Emperor as kind of the overall energy of the reading. I look to the Emperor, of course, as a very divine being divine masculine energy, but it's also somebody who is incredibly controlled and just like rooted and grounded and solid and immovable. And I also very much look to the Emperor as kind of an extension of the King of Pentacles, which is related to the 3D energies. So let's get some more information. Starting with the Romance Angels Oracle, one of my favorites ever. What would pile 2's person choose to say that they're not saying? What would they tell them? So we have honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. That's funny that that comes up right next to the 7 of Cups. At first that didn't make a whole lot of sense. It seemed out of place. We have deception, but it's starting to make a little bit of sense now. And I want to take a look and see how much space I have. I have a little bit. I think I can put some more. So your person, pile 2, is someone who's not very grounded normally. They're sort of all over the place. They probably show up in a very, honestly, emotionally immature energy. When I see the Page of Wands clarifying the 7 of Cups, it's definitely not grounded. That's someone who's impulsive, who maybe blows very hot and cold. That's similar to pile 1, but very different energies. This is probably either a young person or somebody who just has been very emotionally stunted, and I say that in the nicest way possible. But somebody who just hasn't historically shown up in a very sincere way when it comes to emotion with this connection. We have Compass coming out, and hopefully I can fit this last one. and education with 35. And that's funny that education comes out because we have the Hierophant for judgment. I do think your person has some wherewithal of there being a spiritual element to this connection. And I'll leave it at that for you to decide what that means for you and for your person, what's applicable and relevant. At the same time, I do think that they are so deeply rooted in the 3D, so enmeshed in, I also just see this as a lot of like mental cloudedness. So the Seven of Cups to me could represent like addictions, alcoholism, mental illness, just anything that again is keeping somebody from being grounded and clear and even sure-footed in how they're approaching the connection. I don't see the Page of Wands as again being this very grounded, reliable energy. But then we also have the Devil here, and the Devil is in stark contrast to this Hierophant energy, judgment energy, and it's clarified by strength. And for me, that's about like just almost bondage. It's reinforcing the meaning for me of, first of all, like beasts, like inner demons and struggling with some personal issues, perhaps things that are impacting their ability to show up in this connection. But it also just represents restraint to me, like somebody who's just attached to other things, has other vices, just has something that impedes their ability to come forward in a concrete way. We do see they have a lot of passion and drive towards you. And I do think they want you to know this, that it came out because it's important that you understand, though, that even though they do feel all of this passion for you, I think that that's kind of a mask that they choose to show up in because it's easiest for them. I think that being more physically minded and sexual or flirtatious is, again, an easier energy for them. It's safer, it's more comfortable. Their Page of Wands, okay? We have no kings out on the board. We have the Emperor, which just represents, I think, again, that like rootedness in the 3D. But we have somebody who's about control, but in not good ways. And with this Devil energy, again, with this idea of attachment or obsessions, I just think your person is struggling with a lot, and they just want you to understand that. And that even though they have so much passion for you, which they want you to be clear about, they also don't want you to think that's all it is. They do understand that there is a deeper element to this, but they hide that. They enjoy their time with you so much, and they want you to know this as well. In case you ever are unclear of, like, again, is the nature of our connection just strictly sexual, or is it just to have a good time, or is it just because they're bored, or they have nobody else or nothing else to do? I definitely am not getting that at all. With Compass coming out, for me, this is actually an energy of like somebody constantly finding their true north and it routing itself back to you. Like no matter what they do, the compass is always magnetized, right, to set the directions, to set the course. So it's like as if to say, no matter how turned around this person gets, it's kind of like they always magnetize themselves back to you, you know? So if that resonates and relates to your connection, I definitely am picking that up there. Education is interesting because we had the Hierophant come out, and this is about, again, higher learning. So developing a sense of wisdom, acknowledgement about this connection, perhaps the spiritual nature of it, or what this means for them, or even just at a very basic level in the 3D, how this connection is changing them and causing them to re-examine their life and to grow. But I do think, again, there's a lot of resistance to that as well. It's very clouded. Their judgment is very clouded. Even though judgment is coming out, it's coming out next to the Seven of Cups and also the Seven of Wands. So 2 sevens, which are very divine numbers. And it kind of represents for me like this unevenness. They're not in an even keel when it comes to their clarity or their overall understanding of this connection. It's like on one side, they are in their emotions a bit. They do have some idea of understanding. They have some idealism though as well. On the other side, it's very sexually minded. Wands, no matter what suited or what card it is, what number of the suit it is, are always going to represent more active energies, more frenetic energy. So this is going to always represent kind of like the toss between the more physical side of things, also the resistant side of them, versus the more dreamy, open, and emotional side. And of course, then like the mental body that's actually helping them to awaken to this. I almost think it's like they're having spiritual downloads come through. Their higher self or their inner being wants to communicate that to you, but it's not connecting and hitting home yet. It's almost like there's a short in the wire. Things are, the wire's getting tripped up. It's like the signal is coming through as I see it until about like here, and then there's like a break in it, and then it can't get all the way through to the end. But at least they have this much connection to this point where they can, you know, feel into this and have a sense of clarity and awareness, because I do think that they're not entirely clueless. I just don't think they can stay grounded in it or feel very secure about what it is. And that's why it's just easier to resist it. But there is that initial kind of spark, you know, of something else being at work here. And again, this person is super magnetized back to you. I think they just want you to know very much, like, it's not for no reason. It's not just a coincidence. There's actually something going on here, you know, like there's something bigger that's happening. They just can't, ground it. They're very stuck in their ways. The Emperor is someone who's very stuck. Like, I'm definitely seeing this as an ill-dignified Emperor. So let's get some more information. What else would pile two's person choose to share? The Three of Wands. They always have their eyes on you. They're always thinking about you. You bring them so much peace. I think they would tell you just how healing your presence is. Like, being connected to you has changed their life. It's woken them up with the Queen of Swords. Again, there's this energy of like bits of clarity coming in and making them want to change their behavior or change their ways. This is a big point of something I don't think they've sharing. It's kind of like coming up over the devil with the Strength card. It's like keeping everything under wraps and not letting the skeletons out of the closet. But what belies all of that is the fact that they kind of do want to clean up their act, whatever it is that's kind of like wobbly in their vibration or in their past that's like throwing them off kilter. They want to change it because they want to show up in a better energy for you, but I don't think it's something that they're at all going to allude to and have you like catch on to. I don't think they want you to know that that could be a plan of theirs. We have the Three of Wands. That could also be planning. The Knight of Swords, yeah, but they're always, again, drawn. It's almost like a laser focus, it feels like, to you. I thought I felt a card drop, but apparently not. What is Temperance? Such a beautiful energy, Temperance, when it comes to love. So the Five of Cups, there's a lot of, again, loss in your person's past. It says sorrow here. It's heaviness. Five of Cups is heaviness. And I think this is specific to what your person has dealt with in their personal life, like outside of this connection. And again, you create this sense of healing for them from that. You help them to just feel better. And they definitely want you to know that. And I don't think it's something that it's easy for them to share and speak about. I mean, maybe in a lighthearted way, but I don't think it's easy for them. Yeah, with the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords, I don't think it's very easy for them to admit when they're wrong, to admit when they, you know, need to change the way they're viewing something or doing something. I don't think that they like to talk a whole lot about their past, you know, drama. I think it's just hard for them to speak up in general, but they're getting clear on a lot of things, even though that clarity is very resisted and at times kind of flutters in and out. It's still there. It's still coming through, which is important. That's the piece of it that matters most. And the Page of Pentacles is the Page of Swords. So like I said with this Page of Pentacles that they kind of want to like get their act together and show up in a different way. And then it's funny because what the Page of Swords represents, the keywords here, are curiosity, intelligence, charm, and ambition. They're the students. The pages were the students. So this person does definitely want to learn and become better for you. Get some more Oracle. I'm just curious, what else? What else does pile two's person want to share? This is interesting. Children came out for this as well in pile one. So children could be a factor. That could be a 3D kind of a barrier or a focus. This person could be a father. This person could have issues with their parents or had, you know, some kind of something with that. This is what's interesting, the soulmate energy. Clarify that for me, please. Yeah, so they keep it really lighthearted. Your person keeps it very light with that Seven of Cups and Page of Wands. Remember, that came out initially. That's very low level, flirtatious energy. And yet what this person, I think, is kind of sort of having inklings about is that there could be something way deeper to this. But again, that's something that I don't think they can consciously sort of discuss or reveal to you in the 3D. I'm going to take a couple of this AlcheMystical Tarot, just because it's a tarot deck, but it has keywords, so it reads like Oracle. What else does pile two's person want them to know? What else would they choose to tell them and say? The Ace of Earth experience, the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, you've opened up their world. I mean, literally, this is something huge. Like, you've given them a new lease on life. The Four of Earth, which is the Four of Pentacles practice, is like that hesitance, though, to move forward and to act. They just need you to understand how stuck they are. That it's very hard to turn that new leaf when you've been a certain way for so long. But the Empress, magnetic, did I not just say we have the compass and we have magnetic coming out? This person is super, super drawn to you, pile two. It's like they can't get away no matter what they do. So definitely. Let's go ahead and take a look actually now at, you know, what your person wants you to know about their next actions or intentions towards you, what they may be planning or what could be kind of coming from them in the near future. Based upon all of this information, what does pile two's person want to share about their current intentions for this connection? What can pile two expect from their person? New moon in Scorpio, going deeper. So this is about somebody who's trying to kind of like dive into the depths. Scorpio is a very deep, mysterious energy. They're very secretive as well. So I don't necessarily think this will be anything that you're aware of. This is not going to show up as like a 3D action. This is more, I think, something energetic that your person's going to be engaging in. But it's definitely going deeper and exploring these feelings more. New moon in Cancer, relax. So just taking it easy. I like notice how there's so many dark tones of green and blue here. So blue is the color of truth, communication as well. And green is the color of the heart chakra. So opening up at the heart space and the deepening of emotion. And then talk less, feel more. So we have literally all of the water signs coming out. Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Talk less and feel more, which is the outcome card, is just saying that this person's going to try to go with the flow as much as they can. I think they're trying to figure things out. They're figuring out, you know, everything more on the back end. I think they just want you to know, like, this connection is meaningful to them. They're very, very drawn to you. They are going through a lot. They're dealing with a lot. And I think it's difficult for them. But you needed to know that they value this connection more than they've ever let on. And that they do have like these initial stirrings of awakening and clarity about what this could be between the two of you. What is kind of like the significance of the connection. So pile two, I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you have, please consider taking a moment to just engaging with the content. That looks like liking, sharing, commenting on the video, or subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That way we're friends. You can come back and visit this channel on another day. And in the meantime, also feel free to peruse my other playlists of available readings I've already completed in the past. I do hope to see you for a future reading, but even if we just meet only for today, it's been a pleasure and I appreciate your presence here so, so much. Until next time, hopefully if there is a next time, pile two, I hope you take great care, sending you lots of loving, abundant energy. Bye-bye. Hey, pile three, I'm so happy to have you here with me. You chose one of my favorite crystals, this big, beautiful piece of apatite. Forgot to move the caramel crystal from the last pile. That's another favorite. But you guys have the blue today, as well as the Lucine Tarot Midnight Edition. We're going to be taking a look today at what your person would choose to say to you if all barriers, blockages, obstacles, challenges, just anything that's preventing your person from speaking clearly and openly with you, if they could just communicate with you and share with you whatever they need to, whatever they feel you need to know most or want you to know most about how they feel about you, the connection itself, whatever comes through, then this is what they would choose to tell you. So we're going to start with the tarot, of course. This is going to be a bit of a shorter reading than what I've done in the past, but still going to be a pretty thorough reading. We're going to do Oracle, just get a good amount of information for you. So as always, while I'm shuffling very quickly, please just take a moment to set your intention to have a good reading, to be open and receptive to the insights that are going to come forward for you. Trust that if you've made your way to this video, chances are good that there is a message hidden within for you that you are meant to uncover and add to your understanding, expansion of understanding at this time. about your connection. And that's all the purpose of it is always to just uplift and to help people get clarity and feel good. So that is my purpose. I ask one thing only if you do end up enjoying this reading today, that you like it or subscribe or just do something to let me know. It's a little bit, I'm a human being, and it's encouraging when people, you know, express that they enjoy what you're doing and that you're doing a good job. So if you end up enjoying the reading today, that would be most appreciated. I would absolutely love it. Also, very quickly, as you're setting your intention and preparing yourself for this reading, go ahead and select a sign if you feel called to do so. I don't need to go into kind of the whole spiel of that. I think you're pretty clear on that by now between me and other readers, but it just helps. And let's go ahead and take a look now, pile 3, at your person and what they want to share with you, what they would tell you right now if they could. We have the Empress as the first energy out, which is beautiful. We also have the 6 of Pentacles for you. The Ace of Wands. This person's very fired up about you, very attracted to you. Oh, wow. The Tower. We're going to clarify that, of course. But there is some big energies here. We have 2 majors kind of flanking the spread, and those are big majors at that. And then we have Wands with that Ace of Wands. That's fiery, passionate energy. That's pretty good. And then Pentacles, and that's a good Pentacles card as well. Now let's clarify the Empress, please. This is the Knight of Pentacles. For the 6 of Pentacles, we have a card unique to this deck, which is called Transmute. We have the 3 of Cups for the Ace of Wands. You bring this person a lot of joy. They definitely want to share with you like just how much you light them up. I think you doubt the light you give this person and how much you just inspire them. And as I say that, we have the Magician, which is about empowerment and motivation, and that's clarifying the Tower. You make this person feel super powerful and unstoppable, like they can achieve anything, like they are just the most desirable, amazing human being ever. You have just like, again, this light about you and this love that you extend to this person, this beautiful, loving energy, this abundant energy embodied in the Empress, that they definitely want you to understand that they appreciate very, very much. The underlying energy supporting the overall theme of the reading, however, is the Hermit. So if you're not actually in a no contact or limited contact situation with your person, then I think your person's just very like tight-lipped and they're not very expressive. And so they don't share necessarily all of this with you. The Knight of Pentacles clarifying the Empress energy. I think it's almost like to say that they see you as like, you're on a pedestal for sure. This is like the embodiment of idolization, I would say. There's been nobody better. They definitely feel that you're like the best person they've ever met. The Knight of Pentacles for me is a card of like trying to work up either the courage or the nerve to like make something happen here or to be good enough for you. That was kind of the first thing that came in, especially because we have this 6 of Pentacles energy, which is normally an energy of reciprocation. I look at it as communication, as energetic exchange, but actually depicted in the card originally, the imagery shows somebody who's in a position to give, who would have more abundance, and then somebody who's kind of in a downward position, who is in a state or an energy of needing to receive because they are in a lack mindset or a lack state. So with Transmute here, it's kind of coming through to me as like this person just ultimately has a lot of self-esteem issues. I don't think they choose to share a lot of this, how deeply rooted those insecurities go. But they're trying to kind of like psych themselves out and transmute this, which means to turn that negative energy that they sometimes get caught up in and flip it, and instead turn that into a positive that they can use as fuel again and motivation to really like keep things going, because they feel so abundant with you and they see so much good potential in being connected. You make them so happy. You've really changed their life. I want to get another clarifier for the Tower, and in fact I want to get an oracle card. What is the Tower here for? What does pile 3's person want to say about the Tower? Passion. So you are just somebody that absolutely, I want you to be able to see this card fully, including the word passion. You are somebody that, again, with Empress, also an Ace of Wands, like they have never been this attracted to somebody before. They cannot even imagine like their life before you, because it just was such a disruptive, but in the best way possible, sort of an energetic shift. Once you guys met, it was instant chemistry. I'm hearing it was just like, you know, I don't know if it'll be love at first sight kind of energy. Maybe for some of you it is, because I think there is definitely a lot of good feeling here. The only Cups card that we have, though, really is the Three of Cups, which is like a friendship energy. It's very lighthearted. But either way, this is certainly the energy of like, think of someone who's just like instantly smitten with somebody. And I, don't know necessarily if you realize how much this person like looks up to you, admires you, feels that you are just such an abundant being, someone so amazing that they have in their life experience, and they have so much passion for you. And I'm hearing actually not even just in like a physical sense, but like they're passionate about who you are as a person. It sounds to me like from this energy that you probably are somebody who's either well known in the community, or you're very accomplished in your work, in your field of study. Maybe you're very educated, you're an intellectual, but you're just somebody that they just see as different. Whether you're creative, or again, it's more of like a scientific or like intellectual sort of a nature, there's just something about you that just stands out above the crowd. They've felt this from the very beginning. Like there's just something different about you. And I think distinctly they're saying they've never really come forward and fully shared that with you, of like how deeply they feel your uniqueness extends, and how much they're drawn and impacted by that, and how much it's changed their life and inspired them to do some amazing things too. We have the Magician here, but the overall underlying energy is the Hermit, which is like an energy of being withdrawn. And think of a hermit as someone who kind of like is the opposite of the Empress, is the opposite of the Magician. They kind of turn inward and they shut everything out, and they don't engage, and they don't feel empowered, and they don't create or really put themselves out there, and they're not a showstopper. And you're definitely that. They see that. That's the energy that you come in with, and they want to be more like you, is what I'm getting. This could even be a situation of this person is older than you. I mean, younger than you. You're a little bit older than this person. There's just something about this that you're like more accomplished or more evolved than they are, and they really like look to you in a lot of ways for that guidance about how to do life, if that makes sense. What else? What would pile three's person choose to tell them? Healing family issues. Yeah, I just think that they have some issues, probably a difficult past, maybe growing up or in their own family. And it's caused them to retreat a lot and to just not know how to really have a healthy relationship. So unrequited love, I never really pretty much read as them not having enough love or attraction for you. And as we can see, that's clearly not the case. Rather, it just represents this person understanding that they haven't showed up equally. And as we see here, the Three of Pentacles is also clarified, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by transmute. So it's about like turning energy maybe of a lack of balance and the wanting to give to you, but not having been able to do that thus far, and making that possible finally. So they want to change this around, this unrequited love, but they have to do some healing first. This is similar to pile 2. So you could watch that pile also if this one ends up resonating for you. But it's a very beautiful energy that your person is in regarding you. And I think this is just stuff that either goes over your head, or they just say it in such a lighthearted, remember 3 of Cups came out, in such a lighthearted and kind of casual way that you don't realize the depth of everything that they're feeling. It's all still very new. I think this is a newer connection. When I say newer, under 1 year or about that mark. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's the extent of the energetic connection that occurs between you, and the depth of that, and the intensity of that. And as we had the Tower, with passion, this is certainly not lacking in the feelings department, or like that chemistry, that synergy that exists between you. So it's really about them kind of doing some healing independently, coming out of this Hermit energy and learning from you and growing and kind of figuring out as they go along how to have a relationship with you. And this is something that if they haven't fully communicated and shared this, I do think they will have done so to a certain extent. But this is kind of them sharing the full scope of like what they see and feel when they look at you, when they're connected to you, having met you. But I have to say, it kind of just feels like this person's a little messed up. Like you've kind of got your life together, which is why it sort of also feels like there may be an age disparity, certainly a maturity disparity. And your person just has a little bit more of a ways to go, which is usually the case. People are never usually completely on the same page. But the important thing is that there's some element of this connection that's obviously aligned and brought you two together. So you are on a similar frequency, or you wouldn't even be connected. It wouldn't even have happened. So it's not that bad. Let's get a few more oracle cards. I'm doing all this talking before I've even gotten everything out on the table. Listening. So your person, yeah, is very receptive to you. They absolutely just look up to you so much. Spirit of place. I'm actually going to look that up in the book. I have no idea what that's about. In terms of what I feel, spirit of place, and it's a number 4, which is the energy of stability and groundedness. I just think that perhaps you, again, ground this person. You make this person feel secure and safe and more deeply connected. But in the book, it actually says our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. And I think there's something to be said about that. So I think that you allow this person to step more into who they truly are, to align more with who they truly are, and bring forth that element of authenticity, which I also read as alignment, and that stability, that energy of 4 there. But they really count on you and kind of heed your advice a lot and your guidance about how to do that. It's to say, like, there is definitely some element here of like almost a mentorship, which is an odd energy if it's romantic, but you know, it's coming out with these cards. And I think this is important that you understand, because I don't know if you realize also just how much this person, again, looks up to you and feels impacted very significantly by your presence in their life. So let's go ahead and take a look at what else your person would like to say to you. Pile 3. What else would they like to share with pile 3? The 6 of Wands. The 3 of Wands. So far, all Wands energy, which is more passion, more fire. We have Judgment. This has come out in all 3 piles today. Judgment is a huge factor in today's readings. And the Page of Swords, which also came out in pile 2. Those were very connected readings. So this person wants success with you. You know, they foresee a future. They're kind of just coming into clarity about how that would even look, but not necessarily on how to go about it yet. The pages are students, so they're still learning. They're still trying to kind of figure this out. And again, there's so much of like leaning onto you to guide and get this connection moving to increase the momentum. It's not really something they feel comfortable at this point to take the lead on. And I think that's disappointing to you to maybe even hear, because I think that you want someone who's going to be at a level to take charge and kind of come in with that, regardless of gender, like that divine masculine energy, that energy of leading, of leadership, and of assertiveness and going after what they want. And I just don't think that that's what this person is about, at least not at this point in their life. But there's so much goodness here in this connection that exists. It's really very beautiful. This person's almost like a diamond in the rough. They definitely have a long ways to go. And they could be, again, chronologically very young. But they're in a good place, I would say, especially with intention and like just the authentic nature of who they are. They're very open. They're very eager to learn. And they really want this connection with you. This is the AlcheMystical Tarot deck, but it has keywords. So that's why I want to use it as an oracle today. So we have the 7 of Swords, which is reaction. The Fool, which is journey. These are beautiful cards. And the 6 of Swords, which is recall. So we have the 7. We go from the 7 of Swords to the 6 of Swords. And, you know, normally a digression like that would not be necessarily progress. But in this case, you know, to go from reaction to recall, I look at reaction as very impulsive or something that's a little bit more lower level. And then the Six of Swords, which is about forward momentum, moving into calmer waters, having a greater understanding, a peacefulness about it, and recall. Recall is kind of like taking stock, taking a second to like revisit energy, but from a higher perspective. Almost like a reset or a redo is what I get. And we have the Fool, of course, journey in the center, which is about your person wanting to take this leap of faith. Again, though, the energy of like someone very young and youthful or naive and unskilled about life comes through. So it's kind of to say like they're trying to overcome maybe some past issues that have them acting and conducting themselves in a certain way. They're really trying to show up in a better energy for you. And ultimately they want, because this is what they want. They want this Fool energy, this energy of a beginning with you. They want to trust. I think that's a big part of the Fool, is whether it's done with naivety or not, or ignorance, it's trusting, and it's just going for it anyway. So that's good energy. That's definitely very encouraging. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you can expect from your person, what they want to share with you about their perhaps intentions or actions that they next have for you in the connection. I said that very strangely. That's all right. What your person wants to share about their next actions and intentions for you in the connection, whatever they'd like to share about that, of what you can expect from them. Let's take a look at that. So first quarter moon in Cancer is push through any insecurity. I love that. So reactiveness is also through insecurity as well, because it's feeling uncomfortable and kind of just leaning into old trauma patterns of behavior, or just operating from, again, a place of unease, misalignment. Think it through. New moon in Gemini. So starting to get clearer on things and leaning more into just that learning energy, that wanting to get better and kind of like master the skill of this. So this relationship, it feels like. And then if you can believe it, this came out on the ground, and I'm taking it because of what I said. New moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. I definitely think that this person wants to. On the bottom of the deck, we have keep your heart open. I don't think they're going to be leading in the 3D like with the connection itself, but I do think they're going to start leading with an open heart energetically. So they're going to be showing up in a different energy that allows for them to reciprocate. Again, remember how we had Six of Pentacles and transmute beneath it. So taking the energy of this difficulty that they've experienced in the past and turning that into something that they can actually utilize as fuel and motivation. We had the Magician as well, to be able to change themselves and become somebody that they can be proud of, and somebody that they know is worthy and deserving of somebody like you. That's what I'm getting from this. So pile 3, I so hope you've enjoyed this reading today. If you have, taking a few seconds to just engage with the content by liking, sharing, or commenting on the video would mean so much. It's really appreciative, an energetic exchange for me to help the channel grow. When people just let me know that I'm doing a good job and that they love what I'm doing, lets me also feel encouraged to do more. So if you could, I would love it so much. I always love seeing new comments and new subscribers, of course. Definitely go ahead and click the subscribe button, whatever, and the notification bell. That lets us be friends, so you can come back again another day and we can connect and share space once more over a future reading. In the meantime, also, you can feel free to peruse all of the past readings I've completed. They're organized into different playlists for you. I am hopeful to see you in a future reading, but if nothing else, it's been such a wonderful joy to have you here with me today. I am wishing you so much abundant, joyful, blessed energy, and I hope you take great care, pile 3.